Alright guys, today I got a video request from Matix109 on my channel. He asked me if I could do an in-depth look at the Dangerous Power G4 because he's interested in getting it. I've already seen Tech Preview do this, but I'll do it again. I'll put my own twist on it. Pretty much in this show I'm going to explain everything about the Dangerous Power G4. I'm going to take pretty much everything apart, and then I'm going to do a full wrap-up review. Just so you guys know, if you guys are big fans of the G4 and don't want to hear anything bad about it and think it's a perfect gun, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything on this, okay? I'm going to give you straight how it is. I'm going to give you the pros, cons, and I'm going to wrap it up. So everything that you got to do out of the box I'm going to show you. Everything, I'm going to show you pretty much how the board works. Even though I've done that in customization videos, all different things you could mess with the trigger, how to clean your eyes, what you need to do your bolts, the feed neck works, take apart the rag, everything. Alright, so let's get started. So first of all, obviously we need the gun. Right here I've got the box with Dangerous Power G4. The only extra supplies I have is a rag here, or anything that you could clean off the old lube. And I've got Plenty Clips gun oil, which works very well for breaking in the gun, and it's very thin lube, so it's going to avoid bolt stick, okay? So we're going to start with an unboxing over here. So you open it up, and it comes with the Dangerous Power G4 manual, that we're actually going to take this out. Got some stickers, which is not essential, so we're going to leave those aside. Got the Dangerous Power G4 marker over here. Set this down over here. Comes with a set of Allen keys and a set of O-rings. Put it all in this plastic baggie right here. Stock barrel right here. Put that down. Comes with a very small barrel stock, but works well. And other than the foam, that's mostly all that's in the packaging. So I'm going to move this off my table over here, give me some space. Alright, so let's start with the contents. So overall, it comes with 4 Allen keys. I've set one of them aside because I just used one from a different set, so that one's somewhere else. But it does come with 4. The fourth one, I believe, should be over here. Yeah, here's the fourth one. So this is what it comes with, these 4 Allen keys. The barrel stock over here, it says DP Engineering. It's all in black. I believe black for whatever color scheme you get, so don't expect it to match your gun if you get some sort of weird color scheme. Alright, so I've had a bunch of people try to tell me that this is a 14-inch barrel. I've measured it. It's 13.25 inches. Later on in the show, I'm going to bring out a ruler, and I'm going to show you guys that it's exactly 13.5 inches so that we can stop this madness once and for all, because I've had so many people yell at me in my videos that I say it's a 13-inch, and they try to tell me that's a 14-inch barrel, and I don't know what I'm talking about. Of course, I'm going to do my research, and I'm going to do my own look at things before I start stating facts and make everyone think that I'm a dumb person, alright? So, stock barrel has some porting on the side. Sound signature is decent. Gets a little bit wider over here. It does come with an O-ring, so when you screw it on, even though this is, since this is a very small gun, and the bolt does create some kick, the barrel, if it doesn't have an O-ring, likes to loosen itself up, but with the O-ring you don't have that problem at all, okay? Obviously auto cocker threaded, for you guys that are wondering if you want to get an aftermarket barrel, okay? So this is all it comes with. Set to the side, don't need the barrel stock right now. Dangerous Power G4 manual comes with, full color manual. It's very useful if you need to know how to clean anything, take anything apart, or how the gun works. Just look at this. It's got pretty much everything you need. got also notes, and you get a warranty card in here in case you need to send it in. You can fill all that out and then you'll send it in with it, okay? So you got everything you need in here. One of the most tricky things to explain in this video is going to be the board. So the board I'm going to go over, but not completely. If you want to get further into programming your board and how it works, you could go to page 20, I believe, or 21 of your board to page 26. It's going to teach you everything you know about the board, okay? I'm not going to be able to get any more in depth than this. So there's the manual. Alright, so first off, G4 marker. It's a very light marker, obviously. Overall, it's pretty solid. There's nothing wrong with it out of the box. It looks nice. Obviously being cleaned. Okay, so a lot of people have been having bolt stick problems, and I myself did have the problem out of the box. I actually did not find what was wrong with it, and I sent it in to Dangerous Power. Not sugarcoating it, they didn't give me anything for free or anything. I had to ship it there myself with my own money. That cost 20 bucks. And then they charged $15 for the actual maintenance fee, and then they charged me another $15 to ship it back, because I'm in Wisconsin and they're all the way in California, so it's expensive shipping. So overall, the gun cost me $300, and then after, just to get it fixed, was $50. I know I could have probably fixed it myself, but I didn't want to break it or do anything that would ruin the warranty. I just wanted to spend a little bit of money and let the professionals handle it, just so I could get this thing shooting. And I did get it back, and now it works just fine. There's nothing wrong with it, okay? Alright, so very first thing I'm going to take apart is over here on the reg. The reg can just simply be unscrewed, and the reg is a two-part reg. There's a bottom part, and there's a top part to it. Screw this right here. And then, I'm not even sure. Alright, so right now, I don't think I'll be able to unscrew the top part. Yeah, my hands are really slippery right now, but this top part of the reg usually just unscrews, and then in here all there is a piston and a spring, okay? So what you want to do when you get it, just wipe off all the lube on it. There's probably going to be some little bit of crap in here too, so I just want to make sure you get it all clean and nice. Make sure there's no dirt or anything in here. It's all nice and shiny. And then you're only going to need like a drop of this. Just put it in here, slide it around, make sure you give an even coat. Put some on the O-ring. Okay. Put some on the spring. Alright. And then just put that back in. Just like that. And then just screw it back together. You're going to see a black O-ring over here, but when you screw it in, you should be able to screw it in until the O-ring is completely disappeared, so it's not going to be coming out of your grip at all. Okay? Just make sure that's nice and snug. Alright, second thing. Take out the biggest Allen key you got into the bolt out back. Unscrew this. Alright, here's the bolt stem. Put your finger in the breech over here. Pop out the bolt. Here's the bolt. Alright. Once again, just take a rag or anything. Wipe off any of that thick lube that it comes with from Dangerous Power. Wipe everything off the stem too. Make sure you get the stem O-ring. Then after this, you're going to take your finger, put it in the rag, take it inside the breech and twist it a little bit. Make sure you get all the crappy lube out of the breech. And you're going to put 1 or 2 drops on the bolt. Make sure not to put too much because you don't want it oiled up. Any extra, just keep on your fingers. So, lube everything. Lube the little rubber stopper there. Make sure everything's nice and lubed so it's not going to be scratching up against the side of your breech. So once that's lubed, take the crap off your fingers. Slide this all the way into the forward position of your breech so that any extra lubricant that was on it is going to get to the O-rings inside the breech. Put 1 drop on this stem O-ring here. Make sure to put a nice even coat again. You want to keep wiping it off your fingers so you don't want to put too much on it. And after that, just use your Allen key to screw it back into place. Alright. So that's about it for the gun, for lubing it. So at this point, make sure you got your hands nice and clean. Wipe off all the crap. And you can put your lube away now. Now we're gonna clean the eye system, okay? So right over here, you got the eye covers. This is what the little detail is on the side. You want to grab the smallest Allen key you have. There's a little screw in the middle of it, okay? So unscrew that. Just so you guys know, I'm not going to be washing both sides. I'm not going to be opening up both sides. When you wash them, you want to make sure to open up and wash both sides. But I know my eye's already clean. I'm just opening this up to demonstrate to you guys what comes with it, okay? So over here you got the screw, you got the eye cover in here that you want to take out. You also got a spring, very tiny spring, you don't want to lose that. And then you also got a ball detent. What the ball detent does is when there's a ball in the breech, the detent keeps the ball from just rolling out of the barrel before the bolt actually hits it. So until the bolt hits it and until you tell the gun to shoot, the ball's not going to just roll out of the barrel if you're pointing down. So that's what's nice about that. The little spring goes behind the detents because when the bolt goes forward to shoot the paintball, it would actually scratch the detents. So when the bolt passes the detent gets pushed in to the eye covers right over here by the spring, and then when the bolt moves back, the detent moves back forward. Okay? So that's what that is. Then you want to use the tip of your Allen key over here. Just very gently pull the eye wires out, okay? The eye wire is over here. And then the eye is this little capsule at the very tip, okay? So a lot of people will tell you use very fine materials to clean these because you do not want to scratch them. I'm just going to use this very fine brag I will go here. I would recommend microfibers or maybe cotton balls. Just very lightly rub it, make sure there's no paint on it. You can just put it back into its place, make sure it's properly aligned. Then you drop the detents back into there. You want to make sure that the round part of the detent is facing inside the breech and the flat part is facing the outside of the gun. Put the spring right up on there and then just drop the eye covers right onto it. Put the screw back in and then screw it back together. Alright, so there you go. Alright, next we're going to be taking a look at the trigger, okay? The trigger, I'm not going to get too in-depth with this. I've already done a video. Look up for Dangerous Power G4 customization. Should be on my channel. If you're interested, there's 3 trigger adjustments here, and there's a 4th trigger adjustment right on the trigger over here that you could use. So this is how you customize your trigger. You're going to need to use your 2 smallest Allen keys. My bad. This little silver one over here is not an adjustment. It's actually the pivot point of your trigger. So, my fault there. Try not to flame too much. I know you guys will. Always looking for a reason to flame, right? whatever. I'm the one posting videos. Alright, so next let's just open up the grips. I'll show you what's in there. I'm actually not going to take out the board and all that, just because that's too much work for the little that actually you guys would get out of it. So I'm just going to unscrew one side here, take the second smallest Allen key you got to unscrew these. Alright, set them aside. When working on these, I recommend you get a nice surface. Don't try to do this on carpeting or anything. I'll try to do this. I wouldn't recommend doing this at the field unless you really have to. Try to get a table, if possible. Any little knock start in the table, just put your screws there so they're not going to roll off, or if anybody bangs in the table. The gun does not come with a 9-volt battery. I put this in, obviously, so make sure you have a battery if you're planning to use your gun the day you get it, okay? So the board looks just like that, made to fit around the battery. If you take out the board, you open up this side of the grips over here, and then there's going to be 3 screws you can take out, and then the board's going to slide right out, okay? When you take out the board, there's a little silver button right over here below the light. You want to make sure not to lose this, okay? Because I actually took out the board once and I lost this. It took me forever to find it because it's very small, okay? So you want to make sure to set this aside, because this button you're going to need to put back in right before you put your board back in, okay? If you do take your board out, what a lot of people don't know about the G4 is over here, the ASA, there actually is a built-in dovetail rail. So any ASA that has a dovetail adjustable rail system to it, you could have on here. I don't know why you replace the wraps, but I've seen people who want to replace it just to have a forward fitting on it so it's not sticking out the side. For me, it doesn't bother me that much, so I just leave it like this. So if you take out the board over here, there's 2 little screws that you can use your Allen keys to loosen, and then you'll be able to slide this forward or backward to adjust with your tank, okay? So, put this back in. Put the grips back. Screws. And let's screw this back together. So that's it for the grips. So next, we're just going to take a quick look at the ASA. Got a couple questions about this. Obviously right now, this is in the back position. This means that air is going into the marker if you have it like this. Slap it back here, and this means the ASA is off, so air is not going to the marker, okay? One little tip that I recommend is when you have the air system on, if you have your fingers here, if you're about to turn it off, I would move it out of the way, because there's 3,000 pounds or more, if you guys have 4,500 tanks full, of pressure behind this. So when this flips out, it flips out like extremely fast. If it dings your finger, it can give you a hell of a bruise, okay? So just make sure your fingers are clear before you unclip that, okay? Obviously the fitting's on the right side. There's a little dangerous power jewels here. But as you can see, on this side there's no fitting, there's just a screw. Now a lot of people are wondering, is that where you adjust the feet per second? It is not. The feet per second is adjusted here through the regulator in this little compartment here, okay? All this is a stopper, okay? If you were to take this out, which would probably be pretty hard because this has to hold back a lot of pressure, this is meant if you want to switch the fitting to the left side of your gun, okay? Stock it's on the right side, and a lot of people like it that way, but if you take this out, you can move the fitting to the left side of your gun and make sure you put the stop on the right side, okay? So that's it for the regulator, okay? Alright, next we're probably going to take the top and the bottom of the gun apart. This, the only reason you want to do this, really, is if you want to look at the solenoid, or if you want to take a closer look at the eye wires, make sure they're not cut or anything, if you got problems with your eyes, okay? So, you want to unscrew this silver screw back here, the one that's located right behind your bolt stem. And then there's another one between the regulator and the grip frame underneath your, pretty much located almost directly under your feed neck, okay? So make sure to hold your gun together while you're doing this. You don't want one part to fall because there are wires connected to these two sections of the gun, so you don't want to rip those by having one part of your gun falling, okay? When doing this, I recommend taking your regulator off because it's a lot easier to undo the screw. I'm actually going to do that. Let me just take at least the bottom part of the regulator off, and then it'll be a lot faster to remove this screw over here. A little bit more. Once again, this video is brought to you by Matix109. He's the one who gave me the idea. Anybody who'd like to give me video suggestions, just post on my profile. And if I think it's a worthy idea, I'll be glad to make it if I have some time, alright? So here, just by undoing those two screws, you have the gun separated. Over here, this red and silver thing is the solenoid. Once again, you want to make sure you're not ripping these two halves apart because there are wires. If you really want to work on the solenoid for a while, you can open up the grip frame on the left side and there's going to be 3 connectors, and you can unplug the wires, the battery, the wires to the battery, the wires to the eyes, and the wires to the solenoid. Those are where the 3 systems are. And they should be labeled right next to the connectors, so you'll be able to know. There's a lot of videos on how to maintenance the solenoid. Pretty much you just take out these 2 screws, and then you want to take out the top screw with a flathead screwdriver, and then there's a bunch of little O-rings on the actual piston inside, which is a real headache to try to get out, okay? So only do this if it's last resort and you don't know what could be wrong with your gun, alright? So now I'm just gonna put the 2 halves back together, alright? Alright, so I got the gun back together now, okay? So we're pretty much wrapping up here. We don't have that much more to talk about. Over here you got the feed neck, obviously, the clamping feed neck, so you can adjust it to whatever size loader you're using. It's a little swivel over here. You could loosen it to fit a wider feed neck, or you tighten it to fit a very small feed neck to your loader. When you loosen it, you could spin this around, so you could have the clamping part and the adjustable part in the back, or you could have it whatever way you want. Stock, the adjustment is in the front of the gun, and the lever is on the left side. Just so you guys that already own this gun, Dangerous Part does a great job with spare parts. If you guys lose any of these parts or they get broken, you could go directly on their website and order them. Otherwise, A&S Gear sells big plastic boxes that have all the parts you need for a gun. They have a bunch of extra screws. They usually have eye covers. They got solenoid, bunch of stuff like that. So you can buy those on ansgear.com. Great website. I use it for all my paintball gear. But also, that's mainly because I don't have a local shop. The local shop I have is extremely small, so I don't have anything specific. If you have anything local, I suggest you support them, because local shops bring a lot more money into the industry and do a lot more support their sport usually. So help paintball grow by visiting your local shop. Check there first, and then if they don't have what you need, it would surprise me if they had this, which is specialty parts. Anything major, buy at your local shop. Anything specific, you can buy on the internet. So once again, any reference, make sure to look in your manual. It'll tell you pretty much everything I've told you. Maybe not as in-depth, but it'll tell you pretty much everything you need to know. Otherwise, refer to my other videos. Any questions can be posted either on this video or on my channel. Otherwise, send me a private message. Of course, I love getting subscriptions, but I'm not going to be one of those guys to tell you to subscribe. You have your own free right. Subscribe to my videos if you like them. Don't if you fucking don't care. One of the last things I'm going to do here, settle this once and for all. I've got this stock barrel over here, comes with a G4, and I've got a measuring tape, and as you guys possibly see, this over here at the very tip of the barrel, putting there, and then the barrel, I don't know if I can get the right lighting here, comes out right there to 13 1/8 inches. Let me try to get the lights in here. So this is the 1 foot mark right there, and this is 13 inches, and this is the supposed 14 inches, alright? So for all those people that care about the extra inch, this is officially 13 1/8 inches. So if someone tells you it's 13 inches, they're right. Somebody tells you they're 14 inches, they're technically wrong, but most places that sell this gun say 14 inches, so don't bash on them, alright? Just tell them very nicely, and they'll understand. Last but not least, over here you got O-rings. Make sure you always got plenty of these, because these could bust at any time. Comes with a little O-ring matching diagram over here. It lets you pick out which one is the right size, and the manual will tell you which one to use if you're replacing it. So overall review of the gun, it's a very good balanced gun. For $300 you can't go wrong, especially if this is one of your first markers. This will be a great marker for any person with a tournament. Some of the things I love about the gun is it's extremely sleek. It's got very nice milling, and the look is amazing. It's very, very light. The stock equipment that comes with, the barrel is just fine. I threw a 16-inch Freak barrel on there, but that's just because I love aftermarket barrels. The stock grips are fine. Stock ASA on-off is awesome. The regular is fine. The feed neck is really nice. It's one of the best in business, actually. It's really low, so it's not going to be very hard on your gun. Stock board is really nice. Stock trigger is actually awesome. It's really great for ramping, and it's really easy for semi. So for what it comes with, you're getting probably more than $300 worth. There's no complaint at all. So those are pros. Cons, obviously bolt stick. They still have yet to fix it completely, but there's a 1,000,001 videos out on YouTube and PB Nation. There's 1,000 forums on how to fix bolt stick. So if you go through all those and you check off what you need to do, that'll tell you pretty much everything you need. If you follow this video, you should be able to get rid of it. First, you want to re-lube everything with very thin lube. You want to start dry firing your gun with a full tank of at least 2,500 PSI, and you want to slowly turn the FPS up. Also, you want to make sure to check all the O-rings inside to make sure none of them are swollen or are getting moved when the bolt reaches them, because that's the problem that ended up costing me the maintenance on this gun. That's what I had not figured out. I pretty much done everything I could to fix the bolt stick, but then when I got it back, I found out that it was the O-rings that was the problem. So make sure you check those too. Overall, it's a really great marker. I'd recommend it to anyone. If you buy this marker, make sure not to give up on it, because with a little work, it could be a great marker. One of the things that's very important is to use this gun. You got to be very disciplined, especially if you have a steely tank or your field only fills to 3,000 pounds per square inch. You want to fill your tank almost every game, especially if you shoot a lot, okay? Because this gun is not that efficient on paint. I've been getting about a hopper full and maybe 3 or 4 pods. So you want to make sure to fill up your hopper pretty often. Or I want to fill up your tank pretty often, because once it starts dropping below about 700 psi in the tank, then you'll start dealing with a couple issues with bolt stick. But if you're above that, then you have no problems at all. That means you fix the bolt stick, okay? So once the bolt stick is done, once you've broken it in, you're not going to have any problems on it unless you're running on a low tank, okay? Anybody who's looking for aftermarket upgrades to this, the first thing that I would upgrade is probably the board. Just get an OLED board, nice in here, and then maybe the bolt. Some people say it's more efficient, some people say it's not too good. I just try it out for yourself. I have not gotten any upgrades to this, and I'm in love with this marker, okay? Not saying it's a $1,200 gun, not saying it's an ego, but it's a nice marker, and it will do fine in tournaments. As it's been said before, the other team doesn't care what you shoot. If the equipment works fine, then you got as much chance of winning as the other team. Then it comes down to training, practice, experience, and your ability. Alright, so that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, make sure to comment. Subscribe if you want. Once again, I really don't care. If you got any ideas for shows, post them on my channel, preferably. Otherwise, on any of my videos or sending me a message will also work. Once again, thank you for Matix109 for the show idea. Hope you're happy, and look forward to more videos. So once again, this is the Dangerous Power G4 in-depth look. Pretty sure I've hit all the main points. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. This is PaintballExplorer, and thank you for watching.